In this video, I want to share with you 6 keys to constructing a successful real estate deal. Now, of course, everybody has their own way of constructing deals. I'm just giving you some keys that I think could be beneficial to you, especially if you're just getting started in your real estate journey. Before I do, please make sure that you hit the like button, share this video with family members and friends, subscribe to my YouTube page, and make sure that your notification bell is on. Don't forget to subscribe. So here are the 6 keys to constructing a successful real estate deal. The first key is your buy box. You have to have an investment criteria, okay? So for example, my primary acquisition strategy at this time, and which has been this way for the past year, is single family homes in Metro Atlanta. I have specific areas that I look for these homes in. We are most likely looking for pre-foreclosures, and we're looking to acquire these pre-foreclosure single family homes in certain areas through creative financing. So you see how specific I am with my buy box. I know what my investment criteria is. Most people, even if they have all these other keys, they are apprehensive about making the moves because they don't know what they want. They don't know what they're looking for. Now, if you plan on being a wholesaler, if you are just the deal finder and you're looking for a finder's fee, then that means you need to talk to other investors and buyers to find out what their buy box or their investment criteria is. But the first key is the buy box. What am I looking for? Where am I looking for it at? And that's very, very important. As a matter of fact, I was having a conversation the other day with a young man who's just getting into real estate investing. We were at a real estate meetup, and he was asking me about what am I looking for? So guess what I did? I gave him my buy box. I said, here are the areas that I'm looking for properties in. Here are the type of properties that I'm looking for. Here is what my acquisition strategy primarily is. And guess what? He took all the notes and said, when something comes across my desk, I'll reach out for you. Your buy box, your criteria is the first key. Second key is your lead generator. How are you going to find these specific properties that you know meet your criteria or that's in your buy box? You got to have some type of lead generation. This is the marketing, okay? So for me, there are certain platforms that I know I can go to and I know I can find properties that meet my criteria. There's certain ways I'm going to market to these owners of these properties, whether it's text, whether it's email, whether it's cold calls, whether it's door knocks, whether it's mail outs, letters. There are different ways, but I have to have a lead generation strategy for how I'm going to market to the people that own the properties that I want to buy. I hope what I'm saying to you makes sense. That's the second key, lead generation, your marketing. The third key is underwriting. Now, for me, I try to make sure that my acquisition team, who literally calls the owners of these properties, I try my best to make sure that these properties have at least gone through a preliminary underwriting process, which means when we find the properties from these platforms that we know meet our buy box or our investment criteria, we typically filter them. We put them in a CRM, which I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm just explaining to you what my process is. And once we drop the names and the addresses, and most of the times it's just the address we're getting, we put that address in this platform, which is a CRM, and I'm like immediately conducting a preliminary underwriting process. It might take me 30 seconds. I'm just looking at a couple data points, boom, 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 and I already have a great idea of what my entry is going to be and what my exit is going to be just based off of 4 to 5 data points. So I'm not taking like 20 minutes trying to underwrite. It's just a preliminary underwriting. But I want to be able to do that because I want more quality leads. Some people just get a list of 10,000 leads and they just keep sending out material to them and marketing to them until somebody responds or until somebody answers the phone. I don't like to do that. And one of the reasons why I don't like to do that, because a lot of the pre-foreclosures, they're going to be auctioned within 3 to 4 weeks a lot of times here in Metro Atlanta. So we don't have months and months and months to go through a list of 3,000 to 4,000 properties, especially here in Metro Atlanta. So I want to condense that down. I want to make sure that these are quality leads. I want to make sure that whoever responds to me, I'll be comfortable submitting an offer to them and actually acquiring the property. So the third key is underwriting. You got to get your underwriting game up, and you got to make sure that you know how to underwrite those deals swiftly. The fourth key is skip tracing. Remember, once you get the properties, just the addresses, and you put them in those investor-friendly platforms that you use as CRMs, you're going to skip trace. Skip tracing is the process that you conduct on these platforms to take that address and the basic information that has come up on that address, and now you're able to skip trace to get the email addresses associated to that person's name and that property, as well as the phone numbers. That gives your team or whoever you have the ability to start reaching out to them. So skip tracing is very, very important. And one of the reasons why I'm using that as a key is because I know a lot of amateurs and newbies who they don't have these platforms. They're not skip tracing. And maybe they're using truepeoplesearch.com, which are free platforms that you're able to gather data. And they're going to the Zillows and the Redfins of the world, but you're missing some important information. So I like to get as much information as I can. So skip tracing is very, very important. The fifth key is contacting. Now that you've skip traced, you've conducted a preliminary underwriting, you've generated the lead because you have the address, you know what your buy box is, and you've put it into this platform, you should have a script. There should be some formal script that you have. So my team, when they text, when they send emails, when they call, even when they door knock, even if they don't have it right in front of them, they have a script. They have a greeting. They have a process, a sales process using a script that they're going to walk this homeowner through if or when they come into contact with them. That's very, very important. This is where your sales game has to be top notch. And then the final key is the financing. Now, again, we like to acquire properties creatively, but we still need to make sure we're clear on, okay, if we're purchasing a property, let's say subject to the existing loan, we know that there's a first lien holder on that property. There may be other liens, okay, but we still need to be clear on the financing. What are the costs of acquisition, okay? And you can always have average costs. The average cost to acquire certain properties may be, let's say, 50 grand. Okay, well, even if you purchase a property subject to an existing loan, if it costs you 50 grand or more to acquire that property, even though you're taking over the existing mortgage, where's that 50 grand going to come from? Is it coming from you? Is it coming from a private money lender? Are you JVing, bringing someone else in as a partner? You want to make sure that you have that understanding and clarity, because you don't want the financing key to be the reason why you don't do a successful deal. So these are just 6 keys to conducting a successful real estate deal. Of course, there are many other things that you have to fill in as you are moving into a deal, but at least this gives you a general outline and idea of how critical it is to have these keys in your toolbox and to make sure that you're continuing to perfect them as you do more and more real estate deals. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us, and I'll see you in the next video.